how we do it.
Yeah.
We just do it.
We're just here. Ain't
that-
nothing to it but to do it like Pruitt would do it.
What
You know what I mean?
Is that Lynn supposed to be over?
I'm not using that one today.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think we ready to rip and roll. So if you
We're
are
on, baby.
if you are new to it, old to it, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, this is the Welcome to a Podcast.
Yes.
Where we sit down with people who are doing dope things and have a dope story and are making impact just in their life. And we bring them on the couch because we want them to share their story and give them their flowers for the things that they're doing. And today is no exception to the rule. I'm your boy Lano, and I'm sitting next to the dude with the nicest kneecaps on this side of the mountain, Jeremy Pape, your boy, my brother. And today we have Arthur, MC, community activist, all the things positive,
Yes.
Mr. Donovan Badgett.
Yes.
Also known AKA Don B.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank
Welcome
you for
to it,
coming,
man.
bro.
Thank
Yes.
you, man.
Fuck
Thank you for
yeah.
having me, man.
Thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited about being here.
Yeah.
This is cool because this is one of the few situations where we like don't even know you before this.
Yeah.
You had just reached out and you're doing some really cool shit.
Yeah.
And so we thought we gotta have you on to come hear about all the cool stuff that you got going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So thank you for making time.
Yeah, man. Appreciate, like I said, Brandon, appreciate y'all having me. It's a dope platform. So when I saw it, I'm like, I'm doing something they building. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
let's see how we could like build together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's also a part of, Death to the Trap. So we'll get into all of that. You know? What I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kick us off. Let us know. Like, give us a little synopsis about Death to the Trap and kind of like what got you to write the book in the first place. How did we get there?
Well, we got there. So I'm a MC as well, like Lane said, and so I wrote an album called Death to the Trap, and I was driving trucks at the time. That was my career at the time. It was like around 22, something like that, I think. And the album was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like I probably let y'all listen to some of the stuff off the album or whatever. And I pushed the album, but it wasn't pushed at how I wanted to because I had a career going on. I was always on the road and stuff like that. So my son was born around that time and stuff like that. So trying to be able to get back home and be with him and do a career thing and stuff like that. So it was so it was a lot
juggling.
But I still always felt that the words from the album was still like super important, and like the message I was trying to relay was still very important because I also mentor, and I'm seeing the state of our young boys, but they call them YNs and stuff like that. But I don't even really see them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that they just need something different. You know what I mean? When I interact with them in a certain environment and manner and stuff. So I still wanted to be creative and keep pushing the album and keep pushing the message and stuff like that. So that's how the book, just being creative just came about. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, shoot, I could kind of tell the story of seasons in my life and how I overcame those seasons and stuff, basically. You know what I'm saying? And that's
So what does Death to the Trap mean to you, man? Break that down. Like obviously it says a lot, and we know what the trap can refer to in so many different facets, right? But like to you, like what is that? What is that embody? Like
so for me, I'm from the South, you know what I'm saying? So
We're in the South.
South Carolina.
Cool.
Yep,
Right.
Hopkins, South Carolina is where I'm from.
Right.
And so, we know within, the hip hop culture and being black and from the South, you know what I'm saying, what those traps are and stuff. But also, traps of, our minds and stuff like that we can fall into as well because of like traumas or emotions, you know what I'm saying, or, just different things, and it's different for everybody. Different environments, because we all was like raised different and stuff like that, but it's kind of just like the cycles that we could get stuck in, you know what I mean, to keep us like stagnated from being able to move forward.
Yes.
And so with me being, a real person, you know what I'm saying, down to earth, I understand, bro, like when you get into those cycles, man, that shit could be hard to get out of, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be real deal, and so I just realized how important it was, because I understand people that get stuck, you know what I mean? And I just kind of talked about how I was able to kind of like strengthen myself and strengthen my mind and be able to like start to, change my thought process because
Death to the trap to kill it, right?
yeah, you know what I mean? Because I've been a felon my whole adult life, you know what I mean? And so getting the door slammed in your face, bro, that shit can be discouraging, you know what I mean? Especially as a young man and just trying to figure life out and stuff like that, it can hit different, you know what I mean? And so after a while, like, you kind of develop like, fuck it, I'm not even trying no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now once you ain't trying, you only resorting to
What
a
you
certain
knew,
type
right.
of living, you know what I'm saying,
You in
which
the trap.
ain't
You stuck.
productive, you know what I'm saying, most of the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Unless you like a phenom or something and you really like disciplined, you know what I mean, to be able to take it somewhere. But we still know how that could end also, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the shedding of old ways, right? To get there's all types of traps.
Yeah,
Right.
no.
What's I mean, share some of that game, man. Like, what's something that you've had to do to overcome? You like that question?
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
rolling, baby.
Yeah. I need some tools. Give me
Yeah.
some
Like,
tools.
what's the
yeah.
tools?
Yeah. I mean, the tools, man, is just like being real with yourself for real,
Okay.
Yeah.
because I'm not even coming from this angle as a perfect or like figured all out, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
I'm coming from like, I understand, you know what I'm saying? This is how I did it. Try to use this, you know what I'm saying, in your journey. Like,
Yeah.
basically, like you just said, passing the game, because I feel like that's how we survive life. It's not like all of the stuff that we are in is like not like reality, really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like time is the real thing, you know what I mean? So in order to like survive life, the people that's lived the time that you're going to go through have to pass that knowledge down, you know what I'm saying?
For
And it's
sure.
like, that's just the way of life, you know what I mean? That's just how,
Right.
so it's like just
Yeah.
being real to that, like understanding that really, and kind of like making sure that whatever age group you in, you really like passing what you know back to
Right.
youngest. Like I'm 30, so I always be like, shoot, me, I'm 34. I'll be like us, we supposed to be passing it to the 20s, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For sure.
40's supposed to be passing to us, 50's supposed to be passing to them, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's supposed
Yeah.
to be like a connection there, because
It's a bridge,
you
right?
learn manhood,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You learn life, you know what I mean? Because the other way is finding out is through trial and error, you know what I
Right,
mean? Which
fucking up.
is fucking up, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And everybody don't make it out of fucking up, you know what I'm saying?
That's
right.
Some people first try, you know what I mean? And it's
That's
over
it.
with, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Dang. I guess one of my thoughts was, do you think that that's like a lost art that's happening, and is that why you're so passionate about it, or how did you get like?
Because of my son,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Me having a son, and then me being the boys that I'm into and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Like
I'm
seeing
cra-
yourself in them.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because I am them, you know what I'm saying? They are me, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, and that's very real, you know what I mean? Those are not just like words and stuff like that. Like, and so it's just seeing that, identifying, you know what I mean? That, and they talk about them in a way. And when I'm dealing with some of these boys and stuff like that, and you actually like really talk to them and you look them in their face and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like you could see what they actually really want, you know what I mean? Obviously, they're still showing the toughness. They still showing a certain type of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you look, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you feel it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and especially like when it's like the love aspect of it, you know what I mean? And so, like, I identified it a lot, and I've been in environments as a mentor and seen how just me showing up changes the environment totally.
Yeah.
I haven't even done nothing yet, you know what I'm saying? Just me like
Just being there.
being around, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I started identifying that, and it was like, dang,
Yeah.
like this is like really needed, you know what I mean? And so, yeah,
Man, hats off to you for
Yeah.
doing that. You know what I mean? Or to
Yeah.
being able to recognize that. Because I do believe that there's so many people who have went to the graveyard with jewels that they should have been passing on. Right? And I like people talk about gatekeeping, right? But I think there's also a level of gatekeeping that go beyond like just the physical form of just like, oh yeah, you got something to get me into this building. Why won't you get me in or put me on with this so I can get
Right.
this? But it's just like the knowledge factor of just like don't gatekeep it, because I feel like that's truly where all the power is at. Like me and Pape was just having a conversation of just like feeling so grateful to have the relationship that just me and him have of just being able to talk about whatever we got going on in our personal lives. And because then it also makes you feel like, damn, I'm not alone in what I got going on. Right. So then to be able to look back at the youth or a stranger or whoever it is and be able to get him some game, it's like I think that's one of the most important things to be doing with this life of just living your own life on intention. And it's like if we not doing what we need to do on an individual level, like how can I show up for somebody who may need me when I'm in that space?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with the youth and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you also is just like, so through these mentorships, like what does that look like for you? Do you like go to the schools and talk to kids, or just like
Yeah.
what is that, alternative schools? What is it?
So it started off kind of just like I was working with an organization, and they kind of were centered around domestic violence and sexual assault survivors and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when they would come in, most of those, would be women, sometimes, men and stuff like that. And I would have that group. But obviously, you know what I'm saying, the boys is coming in, also. And so I kind of started to connect with some of them and stuff like that. And it was always a passion, just because, I guess just because of who I was blessed to be, you know what I mean? Like I always wanted to, give that testimony of what I had made it through or whatever. So when you start to like move in a space and it start to feel like purposeful and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just was a connection to some of to the boys and just knowing what they need, really, you know what I mean? And it kind of was that more than anything. And like I said, my baby and shit, like I really wanted to change the thought process of the world in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? For the world that he's gonna grow up in and stuff like that, So we attack like that because we won, man. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, and we're just trying to survive. Black, white, Chinese, fucking green, purple. You know what I mean?
Right.
As men, we all just want to really just the same thing, just to survive, make sure our family is fed and we good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Want to be happy in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's pretty much all the same shit. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big believer in love. You have mentioned that earlier, and I think that is a really cool magic that exists in the world, and but it's an action, and it. How much of that do you think that's just like the easy seed that people are really lacking, or what do you think is like the biggest deficit that people have when you go to mentor them?
As far as the boys, man, it's really like the action of like that consistent masculine energy, man. You know what I'm saying? To like kind of instill discipline, like not to even like change anything. You know what I'm saying? But to like give that spark of being able to think and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like not just acting off of emotions and stuff like that. Like and not just like soft emotions like anger. You know what I mean? Love and stuff like that. Like, fear. Actually, fear. You know what I mean? Like, not actually like looking at those things as making you look weak or making you look a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to identify what those are and knowing that, okay, just because I'm mad doesn't mean I have to act like this. I could be mad and not do things like this. Respond in this. You know what I mean? Or I could be sad and not respond. But but just planting that so that they can, learn how to try to identify rather than, reacting, man. Because I feel like that's where, us, as black men, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where our biggest, deficit is because, the ability to do things, you know what I'm saying, is there. You know what I mean? The ability to learn and stuff like that is there, but the discipline is just not, you know what I'm saying? And without that, everything else really is not going to be able to grow. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to go through the stages of your life to be able to see what your final form is like.
If you can't think through it.
You crash out too early, and that's not how life works. You have to go through the stages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately.
That's just how it works. You know what I'm saying?
I would have been skipped.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'd be at the front of the line. I'm next.
Yeah.
Like, this dude ain't ready. Still tripping.
Yeah. And so that's just trying to implant that, man, to be able to open up the mind and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not changing it because there's nothing we could do about that. We know how that shit is, you know what I mean? We're going to do what we do.
Yeah.
But actually knowing that you have an option, knowing that you could make choices and stuff like that, like you don't look weak because you decided to
not engage. Yeah.
And, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can cry and know that it's okay, you know what I'm saying, to feel those feelings, you know what I mean, without,
feeling lame or
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I think that's a great word, man. It's ironic because I just had this conversation with my son about a week ago. He got in trouble at school. He's 7. He's in the 2nd grade and whatnot. But he he got into a situation with another little kid. The little kid said they was gonna do something to him, and then he got mad and he said something back, right? And then the teacher heard it. They both got in trouble, and then I had to pick him up from school that day, and I could tell he was nervous. He was like, "Damn, my dad about to get on my ass." And we had just had CB on,
right?
And he was talking about his approach to parenting of just like it's okay for you to make mistakes, right? I prefer you to make mistakes because then I know how I can help you, right? And I needed to hear that and didn't even know, right? And so he gets in the car and I'm just like, "What's going on, man?" He was like, "Nothing." I was like, "How was your day?" He was good, and I'm just like, "All right, so tell me what happened." And he started looking up into the sky, and I could tell he was trying to figure out like, what can I say so my dad don't get mad? And I had to stop him while he was sitting there thinking. I said, "Bro, don't think about it. Just tell me the story because I already know everything that didn't happen. So just tell me." So he went on and told me the story, and I left it alone. I just wanted to hear what he had to say. So then when we got home, he was still kind of like walking on eggshells around me. And then I made him come outside, and we sat down. That's exactly what I talked to him about. I said, "You're not in trouble." I said, "But what I want you to do is that you need to know how to think before you react. This is what this moment is about for us. It ain't about, oh, I'm in trouble with dad and I'm about to get my game taken from me and all this stuff." I was like, "Nah, I just really want you to be in a space to be able to think, because as you become a man, you won't be afforded these grace periods. Right now, you a little boy, and you can kind of get away with things, right? Because everybody's like, oh, he's just a kid, he's learning." But I'm just like, what I need you to be able to know is that you can think before you make a choice. I said, so the little kid was saying something crazy to you. I said, you want to say something crazy back because you wanted to win, essentially, right? So everybody laughed, and that drew the attention. I said, but if it was about winning for you, there's a other way that you could have won, right? The kid's talking crazy to you, threatening you, whatever. I said, and you just politely just get up, excuse yourself. You go tell the teacher what didn't happen. The kid still gets in trouble. You out of trouble. I was like, it ain't about you being no snitch or telling. I was like, this is you protecting yourself, not somebody else knows. And I was like, it was about winning, right? He's like, yeah. So I'm just letting you know there's other ways that you can do things, but the only way you can do that is if you thinking. Right. If you're not thinking and you just basing shit off your emotions, which you did, you was upset, they said something crazy, I'm gonna say something crazy back. I said, if all you have is a small amount of time, and I was like, the better you become at learning how to think before you act, the quicker you be at it when situations arise. I was like, because I get faced with shit all the time to where I can't react off my emotions, and I have to really be thoughtful about what I'm about to do. So I think that's important that's what, as a mentor, that you telling these young kids those things, because I think that shit is just life skills. Like that's gonna be the stuff that really carries you to the next space. So just like that's the only way you're gonna be able to grow is if you know how to think. If you can't think, you dead in the water.
Yeah,
man.
survive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like make it home.
Yeah.
Let's like think and play the game. Like, let's play the game different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Even if I do want to be devious.
Yeah.
Even if that is what I want to do.
There's a way to do it.
Let's go back. Let's say, okay, buddy. You know what I mean? Let's go put a plan together, you know what I mean, to where this motherfucker falls into a hole that I made at the sand lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just sitting over there just laughing.
Yeah. Think about it.
Him, you know what I mean? Like, even if that's the case, so like let's just think, let's use our minds, you know what I mean? Because even with thinking, that's gonna open up other things for you. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna start working, you're gonna start just being more creative, using your imagination and things. Like, we should still do that,
Yeah.
Man, survive, man.
Yeah.
Make it home, man.
What are some tools that you teach the kids to get them to stop the emotional instinct response and to think a little bit?
Man, it's difficult, man, for real. So the best thing that I've been trying to, find that kind of has been working something, you know what I'm saying, is like letting them get to a point so where they can like just vent to you and let you know, you know what I mean, what's kind of happening in a sense, like, because they're gonna get emotional fast and stuff like that. Like I had a situation with a few artists that I work with, you know what I mean, and it was a thing that I wasn't aware of, but it kind of went left super quick, you know what I mean, and when I got understanding of what the situation was, it was because of an emotional thing, you know what I mean, because they didn't even give a chance to understand where I was at, you know what I'm saying, and what was really happening, And so I kind of opened myself up, you know what I mean, to be able to like hear them out, you know what I mean, so that I could say my piece, and it was a productive conversation that we had, and they're younger, that's why I bring them up, they're like that early 20s age range and stuff. And so that kind of worked, kind of just
listening. The listeners
Yeah, you know what I mean,
open
and
doors.
not automatically, even though I'm mad as hell, not
Right.
automatically being like, you know what, fuck these little niggas.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like saying it, but calming down. You know what I'm saying? Hearing it out. You know, because all that stuff is still a way on how I could get better and stuff like that too. How I can make what I'm doing better. You know,
Yes.
like I want to lead. I want to, you know, put my message out to where they understand it. At some point, I have to have like I guess it will be called empathy. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
some type of like compassion to what's being said. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
openness. So you got to be open. You got to be open.
Yeah.
Communication is a two-way street. So we're gonna get to the. That's all we're gonna get back home. If you listen to me and I listen to you, and you don't just do fucked up shit.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Like old buddy said off, and this is funny. Like we could blink it. I'll cut this, but he said, he said, if me and you are arguing, and I tell you shut up, do you think it's wise for you to keep talking? Oh, that was so funny, man. That's y'all ain't see that one? That's one of the podcasts, man. But I thought that joke was just too funny.
That's a good one. Yeah. Cheers,
That's
Craig.
good. I'm gonna keep that one for my kids.
You think it's wise for real? You think it's wise? I done told you to shut up. You think you right? No, that's good.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel like fatherhood has impacted you, man? Like your decision making, like
Man, it's kind of fatherhood is, you know, just living, bro. It's up and down, man. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I'm kind of like speechless when it comes to, you know.
do
what
you
I
learn
mean,
a lot
fatherhood.
about yourself through?
Yes, a
your
whole
son?
lot. Yes, a whole lot. Mostly, you know what I'm saying, from myself too. You know what I'm saying. In this season, like I'll be 35 this year, coming up. You know, and so, yeah, man, just kind of learning more about me and how I need to continue to be something. You know what I'm saying, that could be looked at as a role model or something that they gonna want to look at and follow. You know what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they meaning, you know, the boys that I'm trying to reach, my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so, you know, that's staying in shape, you know, making sure I'm learning, you know what I mean, staying sharp on life and shit like that, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like training some type of fighting discipline, you know, doing the things that I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
even how I package my products and stuff like that, you know what I mean? How I move and, you know, all those different things.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Because sometimes it comes down to really, it's like you can only say so much before you're like, I just got to fucking do that. Whatever you're trying
Yeah.
to teach too, if you're not doing it already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because because I was telling one of my younger homies, and he like, me and him have different conversations because he has just, I see him being more of a like a, he has that leadership joint, you know what I mean? So I talk to him like a little different and stuff. And, damn, what was we saying?
Just your actions that speak louder than words type shit.
Like doing the stuff
Doing the
versus
work.
just talking, just preaching it.
Oh, I forget, man. There's so much, but
Nah.
we can keep going and stuff.
Yeah,
man.
it's cool. If you could do anything different, like if you could, what's our question? I might be wording it wrong.
Right. If you had to go back and redo the mission, what would you do? What would you change?
Man, honestly, I probably would do like more extracurricular stuff when I was in like school and stuff like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like high school, I probably would have tried to, you know, join the clubs and, you know, because I did play basketball, but once I got like cut because of my grades, you know what I mean? After then I started, you know, the normal story, you know what I'm saying,
Sure.
being outside and stuff. But, you know, being more into extracurricular stuff, clubs and stuff from high school to college and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Being more locked into, because I even had a chance to be overseas playing basketball and stuff like that, man, and I didn't take that as serious as I needed to. Time passed by for that opportunity and stuff, so like more discipline,
Yeah.
and that's really it, man. Just being more like engaging more with the, you know, activities in school and being more disciplined. Yeah.
Do you think that I was just listening to someone talk about this the other day about like it go back into like the high school era of your life, and if you just had like a little bit more like self-confidence, I think was the word, that you would it would be easier to apply yourself. So I think about that a lot, but I think that you just it's almost like you've got to earn it along the way
Yeah.
to before you get get to unlock the blessings of life a little bit.
Right.
Because the luck only comes from the work that you're putting in. That's
Right.
the only way that you could be confident in what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because
gotta
you
put the
know,
work in.
Right.
you know what I mean, behind closed doors, or when nobody's looking, I'm doing these things.
Yes.
I'm moving like this. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's where the confidence comes from. Mhm.
Yes.
So there's no other way to get to than through the process. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's why I be telling my Kobe. You know what I mean? I tell all. Lately, I've been telling everybody like, look at Kobe interviews and look at the stuff that Kobe, like the part of the process of how he becomes great
Right.
is in the intricate like details of everything
Yes.
and working at those details until I'm like good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If I need to work on my left, I'm weak at that. Okay, I analyze. That's what I'm doing. Okay, boom. I'm about to go and work on this, work on this, work on this, work on this.
Yes.
Put as many hours as I need to into this
Yes.
until I can do it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like not the end result, fall in love with with the process.
Yeah.
Yes.
The every day of getting up at 5. And this shit's hard. It ain't like it's easy, obviously, you know what I'm saying? But
sure.
No,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
locking into that part of the process of the details every day, every day, every day. And it's gonna build into something
Yep.
Yes.
once you keep your head down long enough, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
100%.
That's definitely one of my aspects of like parenting with my daughter. I mean, her coming into her 8th grade year, and she loves basketball. She's been getting better and better at it, and it's one of her loves. And I think the way I show up for tough love is in that category for her of just like, if you want it, you got to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nothing coming to you because you want it, just because you got to go put the time in.
Mm-hmm.
And like as of recently, we've been working out with all the high school girls, and it's making her game better, but it's challenging her, and it's tough. She be having some long nights. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, hey, look, this is the road to getting to whatever you want to get to when it comes to this sport specifically. And the real kick to it is like, this will be the road that you have to take for whatever you want to go do in this life. That this shit ain't gonna be easy, and you got to put the work in when ain't nobody watching.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I feel like on top of her running with the older older girls, make sure, because I feel she gonna build that confidence when she doing her individual stuff by herself.
That's right.
So make sure when she by herself and she doing those workouts, those the ones you really, 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 really lock into. You know what I mean? Because then when you start going to play with everybody else,
Yep.
your confidence gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're like, this
so
is
even
light work.
even when you practicing,
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying?
That's right, 100%.
So yeah,
It's important.
And that's I think that's also a real. I was just thinking about that as you guys were talking. I think that's a really good way also to keep like yourself from going crazy, because a lot of the time when I'm frustrated or anxious, it's because my actions aren't aligning with where I feel like I should be. You know, and it's
I
like,
feel that.
oh, 9 times out of 10, it's just do the work, because then you'll get there. But you have this like gap, and then that gap makes you pissed or anxious, or and then for me at least, then that manifests in like me seeing other weaker points in my kids or something and trying to criticize them, when it's like, bro, you're actually really trying to criticize yourself, and you're
Right.
the one that's supposed to be
Yeah, you just
more locked in.
thinking out loud.
You're just thinking out loud,
Yeah.
and this poor little child is in the crosshairs. You know
Yeah,
what I
like,
mean? And it's dang.
so what are you saying? I'm just playing with my fucking toys. You know?
yeah, you know.
Totally.
But I think I was thinking when you was talking about your son, though, it's good that I feel like it's still good that he has that fear in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But then you go back and you know what I mean, because that's what, as the father, you want. You know what I mean? That's
no. For
that's
sure.
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
you know
because
what I'm
I mean, all
saying?
that
Like,
turns into respect, right? It's really
Yeah.
what ultimately is what we want, right? For respect for things, yourself, and whatever the rules are in place. And as you become an adult, we start parenting ourselves. So if you don't have respect for your own rules, if you don't know what that's like to be, then you just out here in the wild, just
Yeah.
bumping your head constantly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're not figuring it out. And I'm just like, I tell my kids all the time, bro. I'll be straight up. I'm just like, I'm not gonna be here forever. I want to tell y'all the raw truth. One day, your daddy ain't gonna be here in the physical form. So like, if you don't take what I'm saying and start to apply it for yourself and telling yourself these things, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're gonna do, because my time, I'm getting closer to whatever the end look like, regardless if I want to or not. But for y'all, you know what I mean, your life is just starting. God
Right.
willing, let y'all get to live a long, full, healthy life. But you need to start applying these principles right now. It ain't about, my rule of thumb is this, like, I know some people like to talk because they like, I want to be right. And I don't speak from that space when I'm talking to anybody. I'm
Right.
just like, I'm not right. It's right. Don't put it on like, oh, that's dad's truth. No, it is the truth. And this is a life thing. You can go into any room and say these things with random people that you don't know. They're gonna be like, damn, I agree with that.
Right.
And they don't know me. So
Yeah.
don't make it like, oh, I want to be right. I don't give a fuck about really right. I'm just gonna tell you what is right.
Right.
That's how I live my life. I live my life based off of like those principles. Just like, I gotta do this because what I'm supposed to do. Ain't no cutting the line. It ain't because I feel like I'm saying it and I want to be right. There's a point for me. It ain't about points.
Right. And mind you now, everybody, we not saying all this stuff like it's just like the about like the easiest stuff ever. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
got it all figured out.
Hey, no
we
shit.
definitely not having this conversation, you know what I'm saying, based off of
Takes
anything
work,
like
baby.
that. Yeah.
Even had this conversation.
That's a
So yeah,
fact.
you know,
Yes.
and that's why I feel like, you know, it's the sincerity of, you know, the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like stuff like this needs to be had. You know, the conversation needs to be opened up. And like that's how, like as cultures, we start to learn each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how like everything starts to become like a better, more healthier energy
Yes.
environment. You know what I'm saying? So now shit could be safer for my baby. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
That's right.
Because everybody could communicate how they feel. Ain't nobody going to shoot shit up because they done went to somebody. They able to go to somebody and talk to them and be like, well, I was feeling this. You know,
Yeah, and somebody could be like,
nobody
I
gotta
understand.
fucking
Yeah.
be mad because they lost their job and now they taking it out on their kids. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because they know, like, boom, all right, this happened. Another door's about to open.
Yes.
I could just move it. You know, it's just like a way to just approach, you know, life. And that's just how I want everybody to be at peace, man, because that shit, it's hard, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dealing with life, being fathers, mothers, you know what I'm saying? Entrepreneurs, like laborers, you know what I'm saying? Working
Yeah.
class, everything is difficult. Everybody get my respect.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If you survive in life, yeah, you got my respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like no
sir.
matter
Yeah.
what level
That
you're
part.
doing it at,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Because
Yes,
it's
sir.
like, who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm still working on my shit, bro. You know what I mean? For
Felt.
As
real.
we all are.
Man.
Felt.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think that's a perfect segue into
Yeah.
the welcome to it.
Oh, bro, you read my mind.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was your welcome to a moment? What was that moment for you where you really felt like your actions were aligning with your calling?
Shoot, man. I guess it started being more direct, like almost like recently with the book, almost. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, because
Yeah.
the message has always pretty much been the same. I've been trying to kind of just talk about, you know, life, talk about my first project. It was called The Valedictorian. I don't even remember what year that was I came out with that, but I wanted to base, you know what I'm saying, my the theme of, you know, my artistry around, you know, education and stuff like that. That might have been like 15, like me getting out of college and stuff around that time. So everything was I wanted to be like based around education, you know. So I was talking about like world things and, you know, different things. So it's always been kind of talking about the testimony, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, giving that back. Yeah, I lost my face and butt.
Just
Just-
the welcome to a moment.
The moment.
Oh,
well,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the book, I think as of
book,
recently.
yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, part of the message is going through the stages.
Yes.
Each stage has a different, you know,
Welcome to
whenever
a
we go into it deeper. But
Yeah.
as of recently, when I feel like things are starting to like be more purposeful, you know what I mean? Now that the book is out, you know, like
Yeah.
it seems I can move more intentional when it comes to the word because now, you know, I have like talking points when I go out in the community and like talk to people on the random. Because
Yes, sir.
sometimes, you know, like I might be riding, I might see some people sitting outside, and I might just pull up, you know what I'm saying, and go talk to them, introduce the book, you know what I'm saying, things like that. So
Sweet.
So the book,
Yeah.
that's dope.
And it's really cool. You know, I found that to be true with this space is like if you just do the thing yourself and then do the work and now you have this piece, people are way more receptive to the same message just because now you took the time to make something. You took the time to invest in the research, the time it took to put the words to the paper. And now, even though it's the same words that you probably had before writing the book, now you have this piece that lets people know, oh man, this guy's really serious because he put in the time and the effort to get something somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
It
I can see that.
validates your word.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That's dope, man.
What's the next step? What's the mission with the book? Where do you like to see? Where would you want to find yourself?
You know, going into speaking engagements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I got some schools I'm about to start working with.
Cool.
Building, you know, within that, and you know, kind of just pitching for speaking engagements to go and kind of, you know, talk about, you know, the death to the trap thought process, and you know, do workshops and things like that. I've been, you know, working on performing the album in like a spoken word monologue type setting and stuff like that. So, working on that some more, and just continuing to be creative, man, and be, in the community, try to, reach people as much as possible, and
Yes.
It's dope, man.
Yes. I love that. I
Well,
love that.
Well, tell the people, man, where can they find you? Find the book.
Yeah. So I am on Facebook, Instagram, all of that good stuff. It's at @thereal_Don B. I guess it might be in the description or somewhere, wherever we're gonna do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it'll be tagged up on the links.
Yep. So my Facebook is Don Badgett. TikTok, I think it's the same, Don Badgett. Yeah. The book is on Amazon. Death to the Trap, Donovan Badgett. You find it there.
Sweet.
I mean, you can Google all of that stuff as well. Probably Donovan, Death to the Trap, and a bunch of stuff will probably come up. I have a web series that I started when it was an album form, but I got some footage now. I think I'm going to start that back up. You know what I mean? So it'll be the third episode. I think I stopped with. Be probably putting that out here within the next couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying, online. So I'll be talking about that. Like I said, got a few speaking engagements coming.
Yeah.
So you can find me.
I love it.
I'm outside, man, just trying to make it happen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hey, man, keep up the good work, bro.
Yes,
Keep up
Donovan,
the
thank
good
you for the work that you're doing,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
It's
Thank
really
you,
awesome.
man.
It's
I
important.
appreciate y'all support too, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Death to the Trap, y'all.
Death to the Trap. Check that out. Go check out Donovan. See what he's got going on. It's always cool and super inspiring to see people that want to change the world. I love that. So
For
thank
sure,
you for
man.
doing that,
Appreciate
bro.
that.
Yeah.
It's the Welcome to a Podcast, y'all. Thank y'all. We love y'all. Take it
Beautiful
light.
motherfuckers.
Oh, you cussing. What up, though?
No, bro. Thank you. Yes.